Back home, the West Australian government is considering moving youth detention inmates to adult prisons as soon as they turn 18. It follows a violent incident at a detention centre yesterday. 4 youth detention officers have been left injured, including one suffering a fractured skull after several detainees climbed a roof and threw chunks of masonry and metal at staff members. Crystal Wu filed this report.
It's the latest disturbance at Perth's Banksia Hill youth detention facility. While on a recreational break, 7 detainees climbed on top of roofs and fences, ripping off pieces of debris and throwing it at officers. 4 officers suffered injuries from pieces of metal and masonry thrown during the incident, including one who has undergone emergency hospital treatment.
One of the pieces of masonry they were throwing struck a youth custodial officer and has potentially fractured his or her skull. Shocking stuff.
The Premier says the government will review whether teenagers at youth detention facilities should move into adult prisons the moment they turn 18.
The reason they're over 18 is because they go into youth detention at the age of 16 or 17. Their sentence might be 4 or 5 years, so they stay in to the conclusion of their sentence. And if you're going to climb on the roof as an adult and throw things at youth custodial officers, well, then you can go to adult prison, in my view. But we'll have a look at how to make that happen.
It's not the first time an officer has been put at risk by the troubled teenagers. A group of inmates lit a fire and damaged 2 buildings during a New Year's Eve riot last year.
No one should go to work and expect that they're not going to return home safe to their families. If action isn't taken at Banksia Hill to protect the safety of workers, then obviously, it is a concern that we'll see a repeat of this sort of incident.
Branch Secretary Ricky Hendon said staffing issues are also a huge concern.
We know that the centre is regularly staffed with fewer than 30 staff.
And how many should there be there?
I think safe staffing at the centre sits around, over 60 staff. I think approximately 64, 65 staff. So it is well and truly understaffed.
The state government is also being criticised over conditions at the youth detention centre following reports of self-harm and destruction. Human rights advocates say the violence is a sign the conditions are unbearable.